Welcome to MDK's introductory video for dental photography. In this video, we will discuss some camera basics and recommend camera settings to be used when taking photographs of your patient. Choosing appropriate camera settings is a crucial step to capturing an ideal dental photography image. We will begin by discussing aperture. The aperture controls the camera's depth of focus by changing the amount of light that is allowed into the camera. Aperture is often referred to as f or f-stop, which is short for fraction. Depth of focus refers to the amount of detail captured in the background versus the foreground of the image. Increased light creates an image with less depth, meaning less detail in the background of the image or a blurrier background. With a lower fraction number, more light is allowed into the lens and there is less depth for the image. For example, f8 or 1/8 can be used to capture more light and make more aspects of the image in focus. Conversely, with a higher fraction number, there is less light and more depth. For example, f22 or 1/22 can focus on a specific item in the photo. The flash power or exposure is controlled by the flash unit on the camera. This can be through either manual or automatic control. The job of the flash is to emit a burst of bright light when the image is being taken. Flash can be used to compensate when the background of an image is darker, such as indoors or in a dimly lit area. Using flash can also be useful to prevent subject blurring, thanks to instant exposure. Some cameras have an internal flash, whereas those that do not may be used alongside an external flash device, such as a ring flash or dual flash. These may be commonly seen in dentistry, where an external unit may be attached onto the body of the camera. While the automatic setting is less technique sensitive, it may lead to less consistent photo clarity, exposure, and quality. Manual flash control requires more initial learning, but allows for increased control over the clarity, exposure, and quality of the photos captured. In summary, you control what is in focus with the aperture, and you control image exposure with a flash. Other settings on your camera may include ISO and shutter speed. The ISO controls the amount of light by the sensitivity of the sensor. A lower ISO means less sensitivity to light, whereas a higher ISO means more sensitivity to light. For example, a low ISO, such as 100, produces sharper images, but will require more light to capture an image. An ISO of around 100 to 200 is typically used intra-orally. A high ISO film, such as 800, results in brighter images in low-light environments. In dental contexts, we typically don't get anywhere near a range of 6400. The shutter speed controls the amount of light by the length of time. A fast shutter speed creates a shorter exposure, the amount of light the camera takes in, and a slow shutter speed gives the photographer a longer exposure. For example, 1/200 is a fast shutter speed, whereas 1/3 is a slow shutter speed. Settings that are advised for dental photography are as follows. With the camera in manual mode, we recommend an ISO range of 100 to 200. We recommend an aperture range of f22 to f32 for intraoral photos, and an aperture range of f8 to f18 for extraoral photos. A shutter speed of 1/160 is recommended for all dental photography, whether intra or extraoral. This is a generic illustration of a camera. Different manufacturers have buttons located in different locations, and recommendations for specific numbers may vary across brands. Please refer to your manufacturer's instructions. Different camera brands and lenses will have different aperture values that work best for intraoral and extraoral photography, so make sure to find what works best for your camera. This variation is due to the camera lens and body that you own, as not all lenses and bodies are equally efficient at transmitting light. While two lenses may both be set at an aperture of f8, one lens may transmit more light due to differences in design and coating material. Check out our extra and intraoral videos to learn more about dental photography. Thank you for learning with us.